everyone. My name is Ashley Morales, and joining me today on Impact Catalyst are the founders of Vincent House, Diane and Elliot Steele. Vincent House is a nonprofit dedicated to unlocking the skills, talents, and abilities of those with mental illnesses. Thank you both so much for being here today. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate being here.
So tell me a little bit about how your journey began.
Okay, we're going to make it short and quick. 30 years ago, the journey began. Our oldest daughter is a Georgetown law grad, and our younger daughter was diagnosed with schizophrenia in her first year of college. And Diane's a veterinarian. I have a law degree, and I work in hospital administration, a medical center in Tampa. And everything was going well until this happened, and then we got thrown into the mental health field, and we learned a lot. We learned that, number one, the system is really broken. We learned that Florida really, we're very low as far as per capita funding for people with mental illnesses. And we also learned that there weren't a lot of services that took people to the next step. Here in Florida, before Vincent House and other clubhouses that opened since us, if a person had a mental illness, they didn't have a good place to go to actually build their stamina, build their self-esteem and self-confidence, and get back to work. So we decided that we wanted to do something, and we chose the word Van Gogh's palette because we were going to have a palette of enterprises. Each dot of paint was going to be a different enterprise, like a cafe, a flower shop, something dealing with animals, and that we could use for people to rehabilitate through. And then we went to a NAMI National Convention in Washington, D.C., and we saw a University of Massachusetts study that came out comparing the ICCD clubhouse model to the PAC model. And we saw the beauty of the model. It served anyone. It didn't specify that it had to be in food service, flower arrangements, things like that. And we saw the beauty of the model, and we said, we need to get this in Florida. So we immediately signed up for an international seminar. We signed up for three-week international clubhouse training. We wanted to become the experts. And so we did that, and we started advocating with the state of Florida. This was in 2001 to get a clubhouse here. But we had a lot of obstacles. We had to go over and under and around and through some. Anyways, so Diane was there to give me support when I was down, and I was there to give her support when she was down. So making a long story a little shorter, 3 years later, in November of 2002, we got a call from the Department of Children and Families, and they said, we have your funding. You can open up in January of 2003. And we'll give you a year's worth of funding, but you have to draw it down in 6 months or you'll lose, some of the funding. So we were bound and determined that we were going to draw that down. So we opened the doors in a strip mall with an ice chest as a refrigerator, a grill in the backyard. And we started amazing rehabilitation for people with mental illnesses. We had a place of respect, a place of dignity, a place where we demonstrated that we needed our members, and our participants are called members, thus the word clubhouse. And we needed them to complete the work of the day for Vincent House. And people started coming. At first, I had to go out and do a little educating case managers and mental health agencies and that, but it didn't take long, and we started getting a very strong group of people. We eventually got to the point where we had to rent another unit in a strip mall, and we started with the rehabilitation first in the clubhouse, and then we moved to the transitional employment, which is unique to the clubhouse model. There's actually no other mental health agency that does, or model that does transitional employment the way clubhouse does. What it is we have a relationship with a business in the community, and we ask for an entry-level job. And then we go and learn the job at no cost to the employer. Once we learn the job and we realize it's an appropriate job for our members, we come back to Vincent House, and through relationships and we've built over the years with members, we decide who's going to work the job. We jointly decide. We ask the employer several things. Number one, no interview. We'll make the decision. because we've got a member that played football for Auburn. He's the electrical engineer, hadn't worked in 10 years. For him to sit through an interview, you know how devastating that can be. We also ask that we train the member on the job. Once we train the member, we learn that the member knows the job, the member is satisfied they know the job, and their supervisor knows they know the job. Then we wean off and just keep in touch with the supervisor every 8 to 10 days or so. Encourage members to come to Vincent House when they're not working, so we maintain those supports. And if they have any issues, concerns, or needs, we help them deal with that so that they're successful. We also, the real key to this is we guarantee coverage. If that member should call in sick for any reason, they call us. They don't call the employer, and we'll send a staff down to work the job that day at no cost to the employer to make sure that it's maintained. Because so often when a person with mental illnesses starts working under the traditional way, they're really not ready. Vincent House gives them the supports, they build their stamina, self-esteem, and self-confidence so that they're successful on the job, and then we train them, etc. But traditionally, what happens is a person with a mental illness moves into the job, and within maybe a week or so, they lose that job because they're not prepared for it, and then their self-esteem just tumbles even further down. So before we started Vincent House, the state of Florida was failing miserably at less than 5% success rate for people with mental illnesses employed. The national average is about 90 to 95% unemployment. So, you know, we were really down at the bottom. But anyways, so we opened the doors in January 20th of 2003. We just celebrated, well, not just, but in January, we celebrated our 20th year anniversary. And then we realized that we needed to, we got internationally accredited. We were the first actually in Florida that became internationally accredited. And then we moved into another property 11 blocks away. We purchased the building. It was a retired doctor who had his doctor's office, 2,800 square feet, not real big, on nearly an acre of land in Pinellas Park, just down from us. So we purchased that and we renovated it, and then we really kicked off the employment there. At one point, we had 24 transitional employment placements. We had relationships with Raytheon, Serrata Beach Resort, the Public Defender's Office, many other places. So we were seeing our members getting back to work. And I'll add here that since we opened the doors in 2003, our members have collectively earned over $8 million working transitional, supportive, and independent jobs in the community. And prior to that, they were written off as unemployable by their doctors, their therapists, their families, and many times themselves. They didn't think they'd get back to work because they were told they couldn't. So anyways, we had an average daily attendance at that time of 55 members with 8 staff in a big house, I say, because it's 2,800 square feet. So then we worked in 2008 and 9, we worked on getting an addition so that we could serve more members. This was the worst time to raise money, which you probably know in 2008, the economy just went down the bucket. And at the same time, we were asked to host the international seminar, which is like hosting the Olympics in the clubhouse world. And we were only 6 years old. And so we were hosting it at Trade Winds in St. Pete Beach and Pinellas Park. And then we ended up having 825 people from 26 different countries come to the international seminar. It was a tremendous success. But I think most importantly, our members participated in all the preparations and all these things. Our members were working these jobs. Our members were helping our staff run the clubhouse. We follow 37 international standards today. And those standards are a Bill of Rights to members and a code of ethics to staff. And one of the standards is that you only have enough staff to engage members. You don't have enough staff to complete the work for the day. And that way that encourage the engagement of members participating. And we make it exciting. It's fun. It's not really like the traditional mental health relationship thing where you have a therapist and a patient, you know, or members and staff. And many times people come in and they don't even know who the member is and who the staff is. You probably experienced that when you went there. So we did get that completed, and we retired in 2013. Just to maybe I'll give a really quick little rundown on how the clubhouse works. We think of it when I'm at a chamber or Rotary, and I have to not use as much time as we're using today. I tell them if I have a stroke or a heart attack, before I go back to work, I would go to physical therapy. There would be therapists there pushing me to walk on the uneven sidewalk, build my stamina, self-esteem, and self-confidence. At the medical center I worked in Tampa, we had a car that you would practice getting in and out of. We had a bank there that you would practice banking and things like that. And then, though these people are generally successful when they go back to work. If you had a mental illness before Vincent House, there was nowhere for a person with a mental illness to go to walk on that uneven sidewalk, to build their stamina, build relationships, get their self-esteem up so that they could be successful at work. So anyways, that was the incentive for us to get this started. And like I said, our members have collectively earned over $8 million since we started. And so in 2013, we retired, and we left them with a successful building, a state-of-the-art facility. We had a commercial kitchen, a bank, graphic arts, different things like that, and relationships with the community and our members and donors and staff. And we retired in 13, and we have a place in Colorado we try to go to every so often. And now we go there 5 months a year. But anyway, we went there, and then we got a call in 16, and they asked us to come back because the state of Florida got $1 million to do a clubhouse up in Hernando County. So we came out of retirement, went out there and started building relationships in the community. And on June 5th of 2017, we opened the doors, grassroots, just like we did the first one. We had, old desk furniture. We got some donated computers, and we moved into the government center, which was actually 2,800 square feet. It's funny, the same amount of square feet. So we opened the doors there, and there were people that told David Lambert, who's our board president right now, he's very active in Hernando and Pasco County, and Bob Dillinger, our public defender. They told him, you're not going to get many people up here in Hernando County. And we showed them that they were wrong. We started getting many members there. And then eventually we got them working. They pretty much had a purpose in life again, which they didn't have that before. So we got internationally accredited, and then we took a break. We went back to Colorado. And then David Lambert and Bob found out from Pasco County that they donated 10 acres of land and about $1.5 million in community development block grant money to do one in Pasco. So we came back and helped get that built and started and everything. And that opened up in September of 2020. So Hernando opened in 2017, and then Pasco in 2020.
Right in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, right during COVID. We went virtual actually during COVID. On March 17th, we had to close the doors, and on the 18th, we started virtual, and that really proved to be tremendous. The first day it was really very hard to do because we had so many people talking at the same time of that, but we learned real quickly. Our director and Pinellas learned quickly how to handle that. But we were getting people that hadn't been to the clubhouse in years coming because they need support. If you think about it, a person with a mental illness, one of the worst things to happen for them is to be isolated. And isolation is a big issue for people with mental illness. But then we were in a situation where we forced isolation. So, we had to deal with that, but we turned out to be very successful. And other clubhouses throughout the world did the same thing. And it proved to be very successful. So now we're in a situation where we're retired again. I did want to mention one thing. In 2012, every year the Bank of America chooses a neighborhood builder. That's, they choose 60 to 100 neighborhood builders throughout the United States. And they're nonprofits. And what they do is they give them $200,000 unrestricted funds. And then they have tremendous training. I mean, it's like amazing training. So in 2012, we were awarded that. And we utilized that training and the extra funds to start working on building a prototype so that we could open a clubhouse in Hernando and then eventually Pasco. And just maybe a month ago, we got word from Bank of America. They chose us again for that award, which was really we're very proud of that. And we're very proud of Bank of America. Yeah, thank you. And they do amazing work. And a lot of the incentive for that is for us to move another step forward and get into housing. We have one of our board members donated 2 lots in Pinellas Park, which is hard to find land in Pinellas Park or in Pinellas County. And we're going to build 6 one-bedroom apartments there. And then with David Lambert and Bob Dillinger advocating up in Pasco County, the county is helping us to get 38 tiny homes there. And we did get some federal funds from Congressman Gus Villarakas, $1.25 million, to help us with building those 38 tiny homes and a group home for members that have been priced out of the market. And I say members, we've got staff that have been priced out of the market, the rental market, and you're probably aware of that being a young person as you are. So then we're also going to be building the freestanding building in Hernando County. And we're going to eventually add housing there, but that'll be down the road a while. But the beauty of the clubhouse model and Vincent House is that we demonstrate to the counties, we demonstrate to legislators, we demonstrate to county commissions, we demonstrate to law enforcement that this model works. This model not only gets people back working, it gives them a purpose in life, it also keeps them out of jails, it keeps them out of recurring hospitalizations, and so we get support then from them. And Hernando County donated $300,000 to us to buy land, which we purchased. And then Senator Simpson, in his last year in the Senate, he got us $500,000 to put toward the building in Hernando County. So it's going to be named the Wilton Simpson Center. So anyways, it's a beautiful model. It's a wonderful thing. And I encourage, if this is going to be shown to people, I encourage anybody that wants to find out more information about it. We offer discovery tours at all 3 of the clubhouses like you went to. I don't know how you found out about it. Maybe someone invited you or something. But anyways, we offer those discovery tours, and it's a life-changing experience. Mayor Kreisman, who's no longer mayor of St. Pete, when he first came through, he said this was a life-changing experience, and we quoted him many times.
Just being there.
Yeah, just being there and
seeing the place was a life-changing event as far as he was concerned.
Okay, so
you can tell who was the talker of the family here, right?
Well, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the journey that your members go through. So when they come through your doors, how have they typically found Vincent House, and even just the mindset and, like you said, the life purpose? I'm sure a lot of members, when they first come to your doors, they're at their last resort.
Yeah, often that's the case. We have members that come through the doors, and they're a little reluctant sometimes, but they're maybe their brother, sister, mother, father, or their case manager said, "You need to check this place out because it's amazing." And they go on a tour. And by the time they're finished with the tour, they're so pumped up that they want to get in there right away. So we have to give them a form that they fill out for their psychiatrist. And then the psychiatrist makes a referral because the person has to access one diagnosis: schizophrenia, clinical depression, OCD, bipolar, something like that. And then we get them rolling on it. And I'm telling you, we have members that have come in very young in their diagnosis, like in their 18, 19 years old. And it's amazing how they ended up getting off benefits. They're working jobs. They have a home. They have a daughter. One in particular has a daughter. He works for Gulfport, and he has a life. And, he has like 12 people working for him in his job. And it's just amazing how things happen, with people. Another one that had to take the GED like 3 times to pass it. Math was a big problem. When she completed that, we all celebrated, and that's what we do. We celebrate success. We don't have failure in the clubhouse. And then she went to phlebotomy school. She worked for a couple of years in Pinellas Park. Now she's finished working, I think, about 5 years at Tampa General Hospital. They have tuition reimbursement there, and she's going to go on and she wants to become an RN. So, just amazing things like that happen.
And so when they come to the door, most of them are kind of quiet, kind of shy. Sometimes, and then we'll ask them, we have unit meetings. First of all, I have a house meeting every morning where everybody, not a house meeting, we have a meeting, just a general morning meeting, where everybody gets together and, we just talk about whatever information, like passing on information like you might have on your job. Then we break into the units, and each unit then has their own meeting. But a lot of times they're very quiet, very shy. They're not sure about something. In the unit meetings, we volunteer for jobs. And I can remember asking people, I'd say, so what do you like to do? What do you do? What's fun for you? And they'll be like, well, I don't really do anything. I'm disabled. And it's just sad to hear that they had so little respect for themselves at that point. But they volunteer. We have 3. One of them is the culinary, and that's cooking, of course. And we have a snack shop, so people will cook. They have people that are waiting on tables and, at lunchtime and that. And sometimes breakfast. They have breakfast in the morning. The second unit is more of the other 2 units both are more clerical in a sense, not really, but in a sense, so they'll do. In there, the one unit, they have videos, they have, they do newsletters, they do, other publications, and what else? The bank. The bank is the last one is employment, and that's everything dealing with helping people to get jobs, and also the bank is in that area. But there's a lot more to fill in between here, but. Those are the choices that they have. They can go from one unit to the next, but it gives them a lot of opportunities to just check out what they might be interested in. And then, like you said about the jobs, but one of the other things with the jobs is after they go through a transitional job, or sometimes they'll do a couple of them, then all of a sudden they start saying, "Do what I really want to do," and they'll start thinking careers, kind of like the people that Elliot had mentioned. They start thinking that I can really do something. You can see how their lives change. And it's pretty amazing, that people can start seeing themselves as actually doing something instead of thinking that their whole life is going to be sitting on the couch, watching television, smoking cigarettes, and drinking coffee. There's so much more than that. And, that we just try to help them get out there and then become a part of the community.
And the help firsthand. I mean, it was just incredible, that members get to explore their interests and figure out what they like to do. I know a lot of times, people don't get an opportunity to just explore and try it out.
Right. And in the old school of thought, they would try to get people to just settle for an entry-level job. We look at it stepwise rehabilitation. The first step is coming in Vincent House and volunteering to work in Vincent House, rubbing shoulders with staff and other members and building their stamina, self-esteem, and self-confidence. The next step would be those transitional jobs. And then after that, they go into supportive, independent jobs or go to like phlebotomy school or find a career.
Or just, follow up. We have one person that got his master's degree while he was in Vincent House. And, it's whatever they want to do. The sky's the limit. They can then be like anybody, just choose where they want to go and what they want to do with their lives. And some people, which is fine, they'll choose that they want to just stay at Vincent House. Some just being out in the community doing a lot of things. They get stressed and they end up back in the hospital. They don't want to do that. But they can volunteer at Vincent House and help other people to accomplish other goals, and they're accomplishing their own goal by just being there.
Yeah, some members are like older and they don't really have a goal of returning to work, but they want a purpose to get up in the morning. And I often say at Vincent House, the rehabilitation doesn't start at Vincent House. It starts in their bedroom when they pull those covers off and they have a reason to get up and get groomed in a place to come to where they're treated with respect and dignity and they're wanted and needed. I mean, we all have that, we need that. And even when we're retired, we still need to have a purpose in life. So
exactly. That's incredible. And I don't know, I don't think we mentioned it, but it's entirely free, right, for members?
yes, it is. One of the goals we had when we began was that we weren't going to have this be on a needs basis where if someone had the financial ability that they could come, and if they didn't, they couldn't come. We do have members, families, and members themselves that make monthly donations. They choose to, but we don't restrict anyone. We would never turn anyone down because they don't have any funds or anything like that. We actually had a member that was living in a tent, and he participated. He worked at the public defender's office, and he ended up he has his own apartment. He's got his own life now, cable TV, which I don't have cable TV, but he has a purpose in life. And actually, the state attorney and his wife, Denise and Bernie McCabe, they offered to do a banner. And you probably saw banners when you went through Vincent House. And our members had the ability to choose whatever value they want on that banner. And this was a pretty tough guy. And he said, I want my value to be love. Because when I come to Vincent House, I feel love. And you probably felt it too when you were there.
Oh, absolutely. Well, this is just incredible. You've taken the pain of your personal journey and turned it into something amazing. I know your daughter as well was the first person to benefit from Vincent House, right? From Van Gogh's pallet.
Well, actually, she didn't come at first. It took a little while for her to come, and we said we're doing this because of our daughter, but we definitely want her to participate too. So, anyways, yeah, she's participated. She's done a number of transitional jobs, and right now her life has moved on. She's got a very strong purpose in life. She has very active, and she's very happy. And obviously, we're very happy for that too. We're actually in the process of completing our book. We started a book in 2013, and the ghostwriter ended up passing away during COVID. And we put it on hold when we opened the other two clubhouses. But we have a lady now that's completing the book, and we're hoping to have it out sometime in 2024. And it's going to pretty much kind of tell our journey and try to first of all educate people on the clubhouse model, educate people on the beauty of a place of respect and dignity and finding a purpose, and also tell our story and try to get other people to either participate at a clubhouse or to start one. If there's a family member, families, etc. As a matter of fact, this Sunday we're going to meet a couple from the state of Ohio that lost their son, and they want to open a clubhouse in, I think it's North Carolina. So we're going to meet them in Orlando for breakfast and just kind of help inspire them along the way. But Clubhouse International now they have a program. It's called New Clubhouse Training. It's I think 2 or 3 day training, and it helps people to learn how to start their board and get things rolling. Unfortunately, when we started, there was not any new Clubhouse training. We did do it one time when we were in Pinellas. We had people from all over the world actually come to it. And, but yeah, they do it now in Carriage House out in Indiana. Yeah.
So I wanted to just add something going back a little ways, talking about our members, or about who the book is actually for. The other thing that I would really like to see is that just people in general will learn that a person with a mental illness has the ability to do many, many things. The biggest part, some people say the hardest part of having a mental illness is dealing with the stigma. And that's pretty sad, that is the case. And hopefully people will see that a person with a mental illness can be delightful people. They can work, they can do so many things, but they're just given an opportunity. And I think that's a huge piece that I would like to get
across. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really important. And I definitely felt that when I took a tour of the Pinellas Park Clubhouse. Like you said, it was a place of just dignity, respect, and hope. Those were the things that stood out most to me. That's why it was so inspiring. That's why we wanted to have you on Impact Catalyst today. So thank you both very much for your time. We really appreciate it.
You're very
Thank you so much.
And good luck to you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.